Today we're going to evaluate the overall impact of the New Deal. The New Deal ends when we typically talk about it, by the end of the 1930s. By 1937, economic improvement was convincing many people that the Depression was starting to end. However, it wasn't the New Deal that brought the Depression to the end. What we're going to find out is actually World War II that brought America out of this economic crisis. Congress, they wanted to cut back programs, and by 1939, the deal would be over. The New Deal would be over. Supporters and critics of the New Deal, conservatives, they thought that FDR made the federal government too large. Okay, conservatives typically are Republicans, and they typically don't agree with liberals or Democrats. Many people felt like by having too much government control, it stifled free enterprise and individual initiative. Liberals and some Democrats, they felt like Franklin D. Roosevelt's programs didn't do enough to socialize the economy and end inequalities. But many supporters felt overall he did help the economy recover and helped with many of the difficulties during the time period. By some examples of Franklin Roosevelt expanding the government's role, FDR expanded the power of the federal government, the power of the president. As far as regulating banks, the Federal Deposit Insurance could do so and insured deposits of ordinary citizens. It regulated the stock market. It regulated the information that they could give out to the people and consequences if it wasn't truthful information. The New Deal did not, once again, end the Depression, but it did reduce suffering and gave a lot of people hope by creating jobs and so forth. The New Deal, the laws set standards and banned child labor and permitted unions. The National Labor Relations Board still mediates labor disputes today. So we're going to see that there were some programs such as FDIC, Social Security Act, the NLRB, these different programs that we still influence us today. As far as banking and finance, the SEC still monitors the stock market, enforces laws on stocks, bond sales, things like that. And the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporations protects individual investments. So that way, if you put your money into the bank and the bank makes some bad risks and ends up closing, the government's going to ensure that your money is safe. Social Security, the federal government takes responsibility for citizens' welfare. It would help the aged, disabled, and the needy. We still have this today. The rural scene, as far as rural areas, the Commodity Credit Corporation would make loans to farmers, and farmers had an opportunity to refinance their land. And really, what they were trying to do was get up farmers as far as their products that they were making get to a point of parity, which intended to keep farmers' income steady. Parity typically was prices during World War I. FDR's New Deal helped the environment as well. The CCC, the Civilian Conservation Corps, planted trees. They built hiking trails, lookout towers for fires. Soil Conservation Service teaches methods to preserve the soil. The TVA created electricity and prevent floods in the region. The government adds national parks, wildlife refuge, wilderness areas, and things like that. So there's a lot of things that were not only helping the government or helping the environment, but also people were getting paid to do so at the same time. So it had two benefits.